Every sports fan has heard this phrase. Their championship window is closing. But what does that actually mean? How much is a championship window worth? 1 draft pick? 5? An entire roster? Because every year, teams across the NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, and even World Soccer make decisions that sacrifice tomorrow to chase today. Why? Because maybe the most valuable asset in sports isn't a superstar. It isn't a draft pick. It isn't even a championship. It's time. Today we're asking one question. How much is a championship window worth? Let's follow the money. If you've watched sports long enough, you've probably heard this phrase before. Their championship window is closing. Analysts say it. Fans repeat it. General managers build around it. But what exactly is a championship window? A championship window is the period of time when a team believes it has the best chance to win a title. Not because they're guaranteed to win, but because all the pieces are finally in place. The right superstar, the right supporting cast, the right coach, the right contracts, and sometimes just enough luck. But here's the part most people overlook. A championship window isn't permanent. Every season that passes changes something. Players get older, contracts expire, young stars become expensive, role players leave, injuries happen, competition gets stronger, the window slowly begins to close. And once it closes, there's no guarantee it'll ever open again. That's why front offices don't just build championship teams. They race against time. Because in sports, time might be the most valuable asset of all. Teams can replace players. They can sign free agents. They can trade for superstars. They can draft the next great prospect. They can even hire a new coach. Almost everything in sports can be replaced. Except time. No front office can buy another season. No owner can purchase another year of a superstar's prime. No general manager can rewind the clock after an opportunity is gone. That's what makes time different from every other asset. Every decision a front office makes is really a decision about when to compete. Do you save your assets for tomorrow, or do you spend them today? Because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. That's why championship windows change the way teams think. A first-round pick isn't just another player. It's another chance, another opportunity, another future season. So when a team trades away future assets, they're making a simple calculation. Is one opportunity today worth more than several opportunities tomorrow? Nowhere is this more obvious than in the NBA. Every offseason, the league turns into one giant marketplace, not because every team is trying to get better, but because every contender is trying to maximize the same thing, their championship window. This summer, the Miami Heat didn't just acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo. They invested in winning while his championship window is still open. The Timberwolves didn't just acquire LaMelo Ball. They invested in maximizing Anthony Edwards' prime. Meanwhile, trade rumors continue to swirl around stars like Jaylen Brown. And just like that, Ja Morant is headed to Portland. Some rumors stay rumors, others become reality, because the rumors reveal something much bigger. Every contender is asking the same question. Is our championship window open right now? Because the moment a front office believes the answer is yes, everything changes. Draft picks stop looking like future players. Prospects stop looking untouchable. Future flexibility stops being the priority. Instead, those assets become currency. Currency used to buy one thing: a better chance to win today. Because in the NBA, the most aggressive teams usually aren't chasing players, they're chasing time. The NFL plays the same game, just with different currency. In basketball, teams often buy time through blockbuster trades. In football, they often buy it through rookie contracts, salary cap flexibility, and aggressive roster building. The Kansas City Chiefs understood this better than anyone. While Patrick Mahomes was still on his rookie contract, they surrounded him with championship-caliber talent and won a Super Bowl before his massive extension ever kicked in. The Cincinnati Bengals faced a similar opportunity with Joe Burrow. As Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins developed into one of the league's most dangerous cores, the pressure wasn't just to build a contender. It was to maximize the years before keeping everyone together became dramatically more expensive. Meanwhile, teams like the Philadelphia Eagles have consistently shown a willingness to aggressively reshape their roster, using trades, free agency, and the draft to keep their championship window open rather than standing still. 3 different approaches, one identical goal: win before the economics change. Because in the NFL, championship windows aren't just measured by talent, they're measured by contracts. Every extension, every free agent departure, every draft class changes the timeline. And once that timeline changes, so does the window. Baseball approaches championship windows differently, but the principle never changes. Instead of salary cap restrictions, Major League Baseball forces teams to balance something else: the present against the pipeline. Every organization is constantly asking the same question: do we hold on to our prospects or trade them for proven talent? Because prospects represent possibility, veterans represent production, and when a championship window opens, possibility suddenly becomes a luxury. The Los Angeles Dodgers have spent years aggressively adding proven stars because they believe every season with a championship-caliber roster is worth maximizing. The New York Yankees have tried to balance elite veterans with a steady pipeline of young talent, allowing them to remain competitive across multiple eras. And the Houston Astros built a championship core through player development, then continued extending that window by strategically adding experienced talent when the opportunity was right. 3 different approaches, one identical goal: keep the championship window open for as long as possible, because even without a hard salary cap, baseball still has an expiration date. Players age, contracts end, stars leave in free agency, and every season that passes is another opportunity that disappears forever. In Major League Baseball, the currency isn't just money, it's patience, and every contender eventually decides how much of it they're willing to spend. The NHL may have one of the shortest championship windows in professional sports, not because the players aren't talented, but because the margin for error is so small. A hard salary cap forces contenders to make impossible decisions: keep the veteran who helped build your team, or let him walk to keep the core together. Trade a top prospect, or hope he develops before your window closes. Every Stanley Cup contender eventually faces the same dilemma. The Florida Panthers pushed aggressively to capitalize on their championship-caliber roster. The Edmonton Oilers surrounded Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl with experienced talent, knowing opportunities like this don't come around often. Meanwhile, other organizations choose patience, stockpiling prospects and draft picks until they believe their own window is ready to open. Different strategies, same objective: extend the championship window for one more season. Because in hockey, one playoff run can define an entire era. One injury, one contract, or one offseason can completely reshape the future of a franchise. The Stanley Cup isn't won by the team with the most talent. It's won by the team that maximizes its opportunity before time runs out. If North American sports are fighting over championship windows, World Soccer turns them into a global marketplace. The transfer market isn't just about replacing players. It's about buying time. When clubs spend hundreds of millions to sign a superstar, they're not simply purchasing talent. They're investing in the years they believe that player can help them compete for the biggest trophies in the world. Real Madrid have built their dynasty by continually refreshing their core before their championship window closes. Manchester City have spent years combining elite player development with strategic transfers to sustain one of the longest periods of success in modern football. Paris Saint-Germain have repeatedly invested in global superstars, believing the right combination of talent could finally deliver the UEFA Champions League trophy. 3 different philosophies, one identical objective: keep the championship window open. Because in world soccer, the stakes extend far beyond winning matches. Every trophy increases global exposure. Every superstar expands the fan base. Every deep run creates new commercial opportunities. The business of soccer isn't just measured in transfer fees. It's measured in worldwide influence. And just like every other league, the clock never stops ticking. Eventually, every club has to decide whether tomorrow is worth protecting or whether today is worth chasing. At first, it looks like every league is playing a different game. The NBA trades draft picks. The NFL manages contracts. Major League Baseball develops prospects. The NHL balances its salary cap. World Soccer spends hundreds of millions on transfer fees. Different rules, different strategies, different currencies. But underneath it all, they're buying the exact same thing: opportunity. Because one championship changes everything. Ticket demand rises. Merchandise sales explode. Corporate sponsors pay more. National television exposure increases. Franchise valuations grow. Global fan bases expand. One championship doesn't just create memories. It creates momentum. Momentum that can reshape a franchise for years. That's why front offices are willing to make decisions that seem reckless. Because they're not comparing a draft pick to a player. They're comparing tomorrow's uncertainty to today's opportunity. Maybe that's why so many teams are willing to sacrifice the future, not because they don't value it, but because they understand something every championship contender eventually learns. The most expensive mistake in sports is letting your championship window close without taking your shot. Maybe that's the biggest lesson in sports. Championships aren't guaranteed, but opportunities are even more rare, because every contender eventually reaches the same moment, when protecting the future means risking the present. And chasing the present means sacrificing part of the future. There isn't a right answer, only a decision. And every front office has to live with the consequences. So, how much is a championship window worth? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button and subscribe to Sportivelli so you never miss another look at the game behind the game. And share this video with someone who thinks sports are only about the box score. Until next time, let's talk post-game.